Hi, everybody. It is April the 2nd, Saturday. And as we all kind of have been watching, there's a lot of crazy stuff came out in March. And obviously, it's a lot more truth is going to start coming out. Anyway, I want to talk about the financial system a bit. Um, I'm just going to try to encapsulate it, just do a really compressed version of kind of how I see things rolling out. Because over the last couple of days, I've been getting really interesting dreams, and a lot of them are just interesting dreams. But then there's some that are kind of telling, and I'm not sure if it's my guides or not, but they showed me this really interesting example of where we're at this point, uh, especially financially. So here I'm just kind of try to shorten up the kind of the story we've been sort of experiencing over the last few years in particular. But what it is um, as you know, because we're part of this awakening group of people, there's a bunch of people that started figuring it out. I mean, they're trying to, poison our water and brainwash us through the media and stuff, so we can't figure out what's really going on. But a lot of us have pieced it together. Whether it was with guides and helping each other, and it definitely have been stopping us from trying to communicate with each other as well, to keep this truth, under control. But yeah, we've been basically realizing we're being played. Um, we've been, especially financially with the banking system and things like that. That's what I'm kind of focusing on lately. Is kind of more the money system. But I mean, we've been played in so many different ways. With the medical system, judicial system. Little old politics. Politics is obviously corrupt. Uh, but financially, what they've been doing is, as you know, it's kind of almost kind of like follow the money. Well, what do you do with money? It's, as you know, on planet Earth, the way our controllers have set it up, if you got a lot of money, you can control a lot of people, and you could control um, goods and services around the planet, especially, and that's why they've been doing what they've been doing. I mean, it's been rolled out so slowly. We just accept that that's part of that's the way life is. Just like you have to got to work for the big corporations, and you can't really own a lot, and then you work your whole life, and then until you can't even work anymore, then you retire, and they just barely give you enough to survive, and then you fade away. Just whatever. Just I can go on and on and on, but I'm gonna kind of go back to talking about the financial thing that I've been getting lately. Is for us that have been waking up, but they've been the people that are helping us wake up and also trying to dismantle this big control system that we've been under behind the scenes have realized it's like, well, they just just can't, you know, shut off all the TV stations or whatever, all the broadcast stations, and just have a ham radio and go, okay, everybody, we've been used. Don't watch TV anymore. And by the way, that dollar that you've been using, it's not even worth anything. We're gonna have to change over to a new system. Anyway, they realized obviously it's gonna be too much to do, too, especially in a fast way. So they said, okay, listen, we have to dismantle this corrupt system really slowly because they don't want collateral damage. What I mean by collateral damage is a lot of us have invested into this old system and it's about to be dismantled. So, um, what they've been doing behind the scenes, like I said, I can go on for hours to explain the full thing. There's a lot of information out there, so you don't need me to tell you because you've been doing a lot of research. But I'm just telling you kind of my guys have been telling me where we're at this point. But so, as you know, they convinced us to go to a paper monetary system backed with nothing. It did that in the 70s. We got off the gold standard system, and then we went on to the petrodollar, and literally it's like it was the U.S. petrodollar was the go-to dollar around the world. Like that was the standard, and it's based on nothing. I mean, how they pulled it off is just incredible. So now the whole world is kind of trading on these nothing dollars, and anybody that tried to get off of that system was extremely destroyed. Like, yeah, you don't want anybody going on any other system. And there's been some countries that tried to do that, like Libya and Iraq. They wanted to do like gold back money. Well, guess what? The banker control system was not going to have any of that. So anyway, so the people that are helping, like I said, behind the scenes, what they've been doing is they decided to dismantle the system really slowly, and it's the example my guides gave me was, you've got this big uh, corrupt building that's running the world, and it's got to be taken down. So the allegory they gave me was, it's like behind the scenes they're not trying to scare everybody, but it's this big building that they're getting ready to destroy, which is basically a control system. So just like a regular building, you've got to, when it's going to be a controlled demolition, you've got to take out all the windows, you've got to take all the furniture out, just make it a shell of a building. And then when you're finished with that, you wire it all up, and you stand back for as little collateral damage as possible, and then you pull it. Boom, it's going to come down. That's the allegory they were giving me. They said, we're at that stage right now where they're ready to pull it. That's kind of what they were telling me. They said, the system has been slowly dismantled for years and years and years, and especially since 2016, we're going to put it that way, since a new administration came in, and then it was like a wrecking ball, and started to dismantle and destroy this old control system. So that's kind of been that's kind of where we're at right now. Is they're showing me, and for me, I mean, a lot of us we've been preparing for it, and I'll tell you kind of how I got it. I got heads up because I have guides, I know, but I'm just saying, yeah, it was up to even 10 years ago. They were telling me just like, okay, get off the monetary system, stop paying taxes, like all this stuff. Make sure you're self-employed. You make sure you're take care of yourself. Don't be dependent on anybody else. Basically, in other words, break my way away from the system. And it's not a coincidence that you'll see funny ads that were run years ago saying, people going off the grid. And to be honest, that's exactly what we should have all been doing all along, is going off the grid. But they turned it into a funny thing, making fun of us, as well as take, for instance, and I mean, well, for me, it's like I'm living in a big city. How do you go off the grid in that way? It's like, well, it's going to be pretty difficult. You can't go out in the country and be self-sufficient, which we all, in a sense, probably should try to do. But anyway, so for me, like, yeah, I've been storing water, buying generators, investing in silver and gold. So I've been preparing for this for a long time. And so for me, and especially over the last 2 years, the people have been really waking up to this. We're all going, okay, we're prepared. Do it. Pull it. Like, we want this system to be destroyed. But for all the sleepy people, they're kind of wondering, what? That's a terrible thing to think of. It's like, well, this is our livelihood. This is how we live. And again, I always use that as an example of living in a prison, and they're all kind of freaking out. They're going, "Are you kidding me? You're gonna explode the walls, and we're gonna be free? Like, what are you talking about? We're living in a prison." We're trying to explain to them, you guys, you're living in a system that you can't really get out of. There's no real freedom. We've got to dismantle this. We've got to tear it down. We've got to break free. That's kind of where we're at right now. Is because there's more people that I think we realize that are actually waking up around the world, and we're getting a lot of physical help, like through military and everything. around the world. They're dismantling this system, and they've been getting it ready. And if you noticed, for instance, Russia, India, and China, and a bunch of other countries are going with a new monetary system, which is going to be gold backed. So they're playing around with different names with it and everything. But in a sense, what it really boils down to is we're heading into basically the quantum financial system, which we've got heads up on that. We knew it was coming. It's going to be a new monetary system. We're getting off the banksters system, the fiat dollar, which has no value whatsoever. So that's where we're at right now. And they're ready, like I said in my visions they've been giving me, is they're ready to pull it. That shell of a control system building is coming down. And they keep sort of, as you know, there's no confirmed dates on anything, but I think, I know I'm optimistic and everything, but as usual, I'm thinking it's going to be in April. So we're all being prepared for it. And I think they needed to have some sort of event to kick it off. And I think the Russia thing was the one was starting it. And as you notice, like now they're saying they're not going to buy the oil with the petrodollar anymore. They're going to go with the ruble and things like that. So it's so we're heading in that direction. So it's happening. But as you notice, especially for us that are awake and aware, we just want to rip the Band-Aid off and get this thing going. But like I said, I've been learning over the years just to kind of trust their plan. They know what they're doing, and when they pull this, it will be an event, and it will be chaotic. They keep telling me, and that's why, we've been storing food and things like that. But what it boils down to is just your money. Just so you also understand, is your money's still safe, and that's why I'm not telling anybody to panic right now. And when we get out of this destruction of our old fake financial system, it really is. We're going to come out of here way, way better. It'll be painful. It will be like ripping off a bandage. But when we're through this, it's going to be awesome. And that's kind of what I've been seeing for years. That's where we're going. We're looking into a whole new world, which is going to be based on real things and no more war and us caring and taking care of ourselves and rebuilding this planet. So that's what I'm focusing on. Anyway, so that I don't want to go on and on, but anyway, so what I'm saying is April is, I think it's going to be the event, and I'm not sure what it's going to be like exactly, but it'll probably last for about 2 weeks of kind of a little bit of craziness, because we'll realize that our dollar has lost its value, which it has years and years ago, but we're going to wake up to that, and your money in the bank's still safe. It's being recorded, so don't worry about that. Everything you've got, and we're going to be transitioning to a new financial system, and it'll be traded dollar for dollar. They know what they're doing. Like I said, it's like, and we'll be onto a new system, and then some, because we're going to be getting, for instance, our old interests that was illegal. We're going to be getting all that back, or loans or whatever, and there's probably going to be a prosperity package. But I'm just saying, we're going to come when we come out of this on the other side. It's going to be awesome. So, but it's going to be a little bit shocking and a little bit painful. But like I said, my vision is they're ready to pull it. It's all the dangerous stuff has been taken out of the building. Okay, now we can just stand back, and they're just going to go boom, drop this old building, which is an old control system for us that they've been taking advantage of us, and it's soon going to be over. Well, not over, but I'm just saying this control system is going to be taken down. That's the vision. Okay. So anyway, take it or leave it, like as usual. It's just from my perspective, and but yeah, just be positive, because honestly, we're going into a really new system and new world. It's gonna be way better than this old slavery system. Okay, that's my little short message for today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.